Assalamu alaikum, this is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus orders to appoint head teachers to vacant posts at government primary schools. Political parties must feel both accountability and responsibility to come to consensus in line with people's expectations, says National Consensus Commission Vice Chairman. National Citizen Party holding processions and street rallies in Bhola and Borishal as part of July March. All domestic and foreign agreements related to power plants signed during previous fascist government to be reviewed, says finance advisor. Israeli forces kill at least 78 more Palestinians across Gaza. And Bangladesh defeat Bhutan by 4-1 in SAF Under-20 Women's Football Championship. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus has ordered the authorities concerned to appoint the head teachers to the vacant posts at the country's government primary schools as soon as possible. He gave this order at a meeting held at the State Guest House, Jamuna, in the capital today. Primary and Mass Education Advisor Professor Dr. Bidhan Ranjan Roy Poddar, Chief Advisors Principal Secretary M. Shirazuddin Mia and Primary and Mass Education Secretary Abu Tahir Muhammad Masud Rana were, among others, present at the meeting. At the meeting, Chief Advisor wanted to know about the quality of education in the government primary schools and the evaluation of which schools are doing well. Bidhan Ranjan Roy said a lot of money has been spent on infrastructure development in the primary education sector, but the main objective, increasing the quality of education, has not been achieved. The advisor said the evaluation shows that the qualifications of the head teachers and their relationship and attitude with other colleagues play a big role in good quality schools. The chief advisor directed the authorities concerned to complete the process of appointing head teachers quickly by issuing a notification in coordination with the Public Service Commission. He also instructed the officials concerned to bring changes in the policy regarding the transfer of teachers. Chief Advisor also stressed the need for consistent internet connections and multimedia classrooms to all primary schools in the country. Professor Dr. Ali Riaz, Vice Chairman of the National Consensus Commission, has said that after the mass uprising, political parties must feel both accountability and responsibility and come to a consensus in line with the expectations of the people. He made these remarks today at the Foreign Service Academy in Dhaka, at the start of the 14th day of the second round of discussions between the National Consensus Commission and political parties. Commission members Dr. Iftikharuzzaman, Dr. Bodiul Alam Mazumdar, Safar Raj Hussain, Dr. M.D. Ayub Mia and Chief Advisor Special Assistant Monir Haidar were present at the session. Today's discussions focused on the bicameral parliament. representatives in the legislature. Representatives from 30 political parties are participating in the meeting, including BNP, Jamaat-e-Islami, NCP, Gano Odhikar Porishod, Gano Shonghati Andolon, CPB Biplobi Workers Party, AB Party, and others. As part of the July March, the National Citizen Party (NCP) is holding processions and street rallies today in Bhola and Borishal. At a street rally organized by the NCP yesterday afternoon in the Borguna Municipal Market premises, NCP convener Nahid Islam said Mujibism will never be allowed to take root in Bangladesh again. He stated that the mass movement is not just for a change of government, but aimed at building a new Bangladesh free from corruption and extortion. The NCP convener added that without necessary reforms and justice, the desired goals cannot be achieved. No election can be held in the country until reforms and accountability are ensured, and the people will not accept anything less. Nahid Islam further said that the last year the movement was against dictatorship, and this year the movement must target corrupt individuals and extortionists. Also participating in the march were NCP member Secretary Akhtar Hossain, Chief Coordinator Nasiruddin Patwari, Chief Organizer for the Southern Region Hasnat Abdullah, and Chief Organizer for the Northern Region Sarjis Alam, along with other top leaders. Finance advisor Dr. Salehudin Ahmed said that all domestic and foreign agreements related to power plants in the energy sector signed during the tenure of the previous fascist government will be reviewed. He made the remarks today while speaking to journalists after a meeting of the Food Planning and Monitoring Committee held at the Secretariat, mentioning that some power plant agreements had been signed during the tenure of the former Awami League government. The advisor said that the High Court has given directives for reviewing those agreements. He also said that approval has been granted to obtain legal assistance in reviewing all domestic and foreign agreements related to power plants. Religious advisor Professor Dr. AFM Khalid Hussain has visited Chattogram Central Jail today, highlighting concerns about the current facilities and pledging significant reforms aimed at improving prisoner welfare and promoting religious education. Following his visit, the advisor spoke to reporters, stating that the current accommodation arrangements for prisoners are not satisfactory. Identifying the absence of dedicated places of worship within the jail, he announced that arrangements would be made to ensure both Hindu and Muslim prisoners so that they can pray according to their respective religious traditions. Beyond addressing immediate needs, the advisor emphasized the importance of religious education as a tool for reform. He also asserted that efforts should be made to reform the prisoners through religious education. Furthermore, he outlined plans to introduce counseling arrangements for prisoners, anticipating that such initiatives would lead to a decrease in criminal tendencies. Now, international news. At least 78 more Palestinians have been killed in a single day as Israeli forces intensified attacks across Gaza, including on government food and aid centers. Despite the ongoing bloodshed, U.S. President Donald Trump has expressed hope for renewed momentum in ceasefire negotiations. According to the Palestinian state news agency Wafa, cited by Al Jazeera, 5 Palestinians were killed on Monday, July 14, near a humanitarian aid distribution center in Rafah, southern Gaza, as they gathered to collect food. Wafa reports that in the past 2 months alone, at least 838 Palestinians have been killed near 8 centers, many of which were operated by the controversial Gaza Humanitarian Foundation (GHF), a group supported by Israel and the United States. Monday also saw deadly attacks in other parts of Gaza. 9 people were killed in an Israeli strike on a displaced persons camp in Khan Yunis, and 4 others died in an airstrike on the Barij refugee camp in central Gaza. Even as international mediators push for a ceasefire, Israeli forces have escalated strikes in northern Gaza and Gaza City. Wafa reports that at least 24 people were killed and dozens injured in attacks on Gaza City alone on Monday. Meanwhile, speaking at a press briefing at the White House, President Trump said they were seeing good progress on Gaza, expressing optimism about diplomatic efforts. Meanwhile, the United Nations has warned that without consistent fuel access, life-saving humanitarian operations in Gaza could grind to a halt. Although a small shipment of fuel entered the region last Thursday, the first in 130 days, it was not enough to meet even a single day's demand. Hospitals, water supplies and emergency aid services remain on the brink of collapse. With the latest casualties, the death toll from Israel's ongoing assault on Gaza has reached 58,386, with over 139,000 injured, according to health authorities in the region. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced the U.S. will send top-of-the-line weapons to Ukraine via NATO countries, while also threatening Russia with severe tariffs if a deal to end the war is not reached within 50 days. Trump made this announcement following a meeting with NATO Chief Mark Rutte in Washington. Rutte confirmed the U.S. had decided to massively supply Ukraine with what is necessary through NATO, and the Europeans would foot the bill. European countries will send Kiev their own Patriot air defense systems, which Ukraine relies on to repel Russia's deadly airstrikes, and replacements will then be issued by the U.S., Trump said. Neither Rutte nor Trump elaborated on the weaponry that will be sent to Kiev, but Rutte said the deal included missiles and ammunition. However, the president did say top-of-the-line weapons worth billions of dollars would be quickly distributed to the battlefield in order to support Ukraine. On the tariffs front, Trump said that the U.S. would impose 100% secondary tariffs targeting Russia's remaining trade partners if a peace deal with Ukraine was not reached within 50 days. This would see any country that trades with Russia face the tax if they want to sell their products to the U.S. For example, if India keeps buying oil from Russia, U.S. companies that purchase Indian goods would have to pay 100% import tax or tariff when the products reach American shores, although detail about both the tariffs and the NATO weapons deal was scant. Monday was the first time Trump pledged new military equipment for Ukraine since returning to the White House. Back to national news. Chattogram is set to embark on a 36-day July Rebirth program beginning tomorrow, an initiative by the district administration to commemorate the historic July-August mass uprising. Deputy Commissioner Farida Khanum detailed the extensive program in a press conference held this afternoon at the Circuit House in the city. The multifaceted event aims to engage the public, especially students, in remembering the significant historical period. The program will kick off with a grand celebration at the Chattogram District Stadium tomorrow, July 16. The inaugural events include a July song performance and a captivating drone show. Following this, a symbolic marathon will be held on July 18, and a tree plantation program is scheduled for July 19. Throughout the 36 days, the program will feature a diverse range of activities including graffiti and painting competitions, various cultural programs at the school level and film screenings. A significant part of the program will also involve commemorating July warriors. The culmination of the 36-day program will be a wreath-laying ceremony at the July Martyrs Memorial on the final day, July 36. Chattogram Divisional Commissioner Dr. Muhammad Ziauddin and Chattogram Press Club Member Secretary Jahidul Karim Kochi and officials of the district administration were present on the occasion.